Have you ever just looked up from your phone and realized an hour has vanished while you were playing a game? What is it that makes some of these games so incredibly sticky? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden genius behind the best mobile games. And you might be surprised to find it's all about one simple idea: minimalism over mechanics.
And this quote right here, it just nails a huge misconception. We've been taught for decades, mostly from PC and console gaming, that a deep, meaningful game has to be complex, right? It's got to have a ton of buttons, intricate combos, all that stuff. But as we're about to see, the best mobile games completely flip that idea on its head.
So let's ask the question, does that logic really hold up when you're talking about a device that fits in your pocket? Is a game automatically deeper just because it crams a console controller's worth of buttons onto a tiny glass screen? And that's where we hit what I like to call the complexity myth. It's this idea that we can just take what works for a big screen and a dedicated controller and shrink it down. But that logic just doesn't translate to mobile. And the reason why is actually pretty simple. Think about it this way. On your phone, the screen has to do two jobs at once. It's your window into the game world, but it's also your controller. So every single button, every bit of interface you add isn't just a control, it's an obstruction. It's literally blocking your view. So let's get down to the physical reality of it all. The best argument for minimalism actually starts with the hardware we're all born with, our own two hands, or to be more specific, our thumbs. And that brings us to this crucial concept, the thumb zone. It's that natural, comfortable arc your thumbs can make across the screen without you having to stretch or strain. This is ergonomics 101. The best mobile games live and breathe inside this zone. They design their entire experience around this very real physical limitation. And the difference in how these two approaches feel is just night and day. Complex controls force your hands into these awkward claws. It's fatiguing. It creates this constant friction between you and the game. But simple controls, they feel natural. The interface basically becomes invisible, and you can get into that amazing flow state where it's just you and the game. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but if you simplify the controls, don't you make the game simple? Don't you lose the challenge? And the answer is a huge no. It's about changing what is challenging. It's the critical difference between a game being difficult and a game being just plain frustrating. So what's the real challenge here? Is it the finger gymnastics you have to do to pull off a move? Is it just fighting with a clunky UI? Or is the challenge in the decisions you make, in the strategy? The truly deep mobile games challenge your brain, not the dexterity of your thumbs. I mean, take a game like Farmer Life Simulator. On the surface, it's a massively complex simulation. You're juggling crop prices, finances, supply chains. It's a lot. But the game presents all of this through a super clean, simple interface. The difficulty isn't in trying to find the right menu, it's in making the right strategic call. And now we have to talk about the context. Let's be real about how we play mobile games. We're not usually setting aside a 4-hour block in a quiet room. We're playing for 5 minutes on the bus or waiting in line for coffee. Our gaming lives are filled with interruptions. We've all lived this exact scenario, right? You've got a few minutes to kill, so you fire up a game you haven't played in a week. And you spend almost your entire session just trying to remember, wait, which button does what again? By the time you figure it out, your stop is here. Your session's over. That's not fun, that's a chore. And there's another subtle but huge problem, a complete lack of haptic feedback. With a real controller, you can feel the buttons under your thumbs. You know where everything is without looking. On a flat piece of glass, you've got nothing. And when you have a dozen tiny virtual buttons, you're just asking for frustrating mistaps. So what's the elegant solution? Simple, broad gestures: swiping, tapping, dragging, long pressing. These actions are intuitive, they're forgiving, they almost completely eliminate the frustration of hitting the wrong button, because the whole screen can become the button. It just works. So, when you put all of these pieces together, what do you get? Well, it's not just a list of tips. It's a full-blown design philosophy. It's about designing for the medium, not trying to force another medium onto it. It really all boils down to this less is more idea. Respect the player's hands. Make the challenge about brains, not thumbs. Make it easy to jump in and out. Design for a glass screen. The goal is to make the controls so natural that they just disappear. And honestly, the proof is everywhere. Think about the most legendary mobile games. Angry Birds. Among Us. Did you ever have to read a manual for them? No way. You just picked them up and you knew what to do. Their genius is in their simplicity. And that really leads us to the ultimate goal, the North Star for any great mobile designer. The best interface is the one that's completely invisible, the one you never even have to think about, so you can focus completely on the experience itself. Now, this idea is so much bigger than just gaming. As our world gets more and more digital, this quest for simple, invisible interfaces is going to be everywhere. So I'll leave you with this thought. What's the next complicated thing in your life that's waiting for its own minimalist revolution? Thanks for tuning in.